The Nebraska Department of Education supports all Nebraska schools as they prevent, prepare for, respond to, and recover from incidents that impact the safety and security of students and staff. A key aspect of preventing these types of incidents is the creation of policies and procedures that support school safety and security through standards adopted by the Nebraska State Board of Education. Find these standards on the Nebraska Department of Education website under School Safety. The Nebraska Safety Standards were created by a collaborative group of educators, law enforcement, and emergency responders and planners from across Nebraska. Based on best practices, these standards are meant to establish the minimum threshold for school safety and security. The safety and security standards support the Nebraska Department of Education's vision for school safety through preventing incidents through assessment, planning, and training, preparedness targeted at limiting incident casualties, destruction, and chaos, planning and training to respond to an incident using the standard response protocol and standard unification method, and designed actions to return the climate and environment of the school to pre-incident conditions. Each safety and security standard is aligned with these four components of the NDE vision and has associated indicators nestled under it. These indicators provide further detail about the standard. For example, under Prevention, Standard 2 states the school system shall designate safety and security teams who are responsible for compliance with local, state, and federal mandates through a written all hazards, internal and external, plan. There are two indicators nestled under this standard. The first defines that the school will have teams responsible for safety and security that respond to any incident that occurs. The second states that the safety teams meet to review safety standards and protocols and update documents. In this way, the indicators further define the necessary elements of the standard. Some indicators may appear the same, but are differentiated by the component that it falls within. For example, references to the Standard Response Protocol, or SRP, are included both in Prevention under Indicator 1.1.c and in Response under Standards 3.1, 3.4, 3.5, 3.7, and 3.8. However, the Prevention indicator is specific to establishing policies and protocols, while the response standards are specific to the action. The Nebraska Department of Education has made both a technical assistance guide and self-assessment specific to the safety and security standards available online. The technical assistance guide includes further definitions and references to both administrative rules and best practices that align with the standards and indicators. For example, the first Prevention standard is specific to collaboration with stakeholders. The citation for this standard is noted as NDE Rule 10-011.01A, which references the Nebraska Department of Education Rule 10. This rule defines school conditions as well as communication with local authorities. This video is meant to serve as a companion to the Nebraska Safety and Security Standards. While schools can review the Technical Assistance Guide and conduct the self-assessment, this video is meant to promote conversations within and beyond the school safety team to support implementation of the standards and, ultimately, the creation of safer and more secure schools. Prevention is all about collaboration, planning, and assessing risk and safety. Meeting these standards will ensure that the right people are brought together and take the right actions to understand school safety in your building or district. You will likely start by creating a school safety team if one isn't currently in place. When developing your team, consider inviting administrators, educators, health and mental health personnel, facility managers, transportation personnel, or anyone else you think would be beneficial to prevention planning. Remember that you want a team that is small enough to allow for collaboration, but large enough to represent the school, its families, and the community. Then, per Standard 1, schools shall coordinate efforts with local authorities to collaborate. Such collaboration will ensure that your team takes the appropriate steps with communications, compliance with fire and life safety codes, and signage. As a best practice, it is recommended that room numbers outside the classroom doors be at eye level and numbered clockwise. Exterior room numbers should be posted visibly on or near windows, and all signage should be easily read from 50 feet away. Next, your team will want to consider how you will assess risk. While emergency planning includes identifying hazards and planned responses to natural disaster incidents, make sure you are also planning for in-school occurrences such as bullying, cyberbullying, and dating violence, as well as visitor management. Your safety team may consider ways to assess school culture and climate through surveys. Positive school culture and climate can be supported through the implementation of social-emotional learning curricula, adoption of school-wide behavior expectations, and policies that promote students' civic development. Along with this, your team should determine how to assess and support students who exhibit concerning behavior that may pose a threat to the school community. Training for school staff on recognizing the signs of students who need further supports is important. Finally, develop procedures and systems for securing the school building. This includes establishing policies and procedures specific to visitor management. Remember, preparedness includes the steps your team will take to limit casualties, destruction, and chaos resulting from an incident. The first step of preparedness is establishing a school emergency operations plan, or EOP. The integration of the Incident Command System, or ICS, within your EOP will assist your collaboration with first responders. In other words, using the ICS will put a structure in place that identifies an incident commander who is responsible when incident command procedures are necessary. The incident commander could be the primary school leader. Depending on the incident, the primary school leader, who is the incident commander, can initially transfer this responsibility to a more appropriate and knowledgeable individual, such as law enforcement, an emergency manager, or fire and rescue personnel. Consider how you will address communications within your EOP. Do you have procedures in place for communicating with all internal and external stakeholders during and after an incident? Internal communication is with staff and students, while external communications involve communicating with parents, the media, and the community. Other key parts of preparedness are specific to drills and exercises for the entire school community, including staff, students, and first responders. It is important that drill and exercise plans align with local, state, and federal regulations. For example, are you regularly conducting fire, tornado, and bus evacuation drills? Do these align with state requirements in terms of the frequency and timing of these drills? Are you collaborating with first responders to conduct drills and exercises? Response occurs during an incident. The school will first assess the situation and then, depending on the results, implement the school's EOP. Multiple school safety and security standards specific to response reference the standard response protocol developed by the I Love You Guys Foundation. There are many benefits to the SRP, including flexibility, meaning the stated 5 action steps can be used to respond to various incidents, ranging from natural disasters to chemical spills to armed intruders. Including the previous examples, there are approximately 125 different threats, hazards, or incidents that can affect the school or community. For all 125, the SRP can be used for immediate response. It is key to train school staff in processes and procedures outlined in the EOP, and your school safety team should regularly review the EOP, especially after drills and exercises, to be sure it is up to date and meets the needs of the school community. And finally, we will talk about recovery, or the actions we take to return the climate and environment of the school to pre-incident conditions. How do we put the school back in the quickest and best learning environment possible? As a school safety team, consider whether your school has policies and procedures in place to support the psychological and emotional health needs of students and staff after an incident. If not, can you implement mutual aid agreements to address the academic, physical, operational, psychological, and emotional recovery areas? If so, who might these partners be? While individuals within your school district may be able to provide long-term supports, in certain incidents, school staff may benefit from outside partners providing short-term support for students and staff experiencing distress. Consider professionals available through your educational service unit or the doctors, counselors, and therapists working in your community. Then, determine how you can formalize agreements to support your school community. We hope that the examples provided and the questions posed in this video help you think more about how your school safety team can engage in emergency operations planning in a way that aligns with the guidance and best practices in the Nebraska Safety and Security Standards. Implementation of the standards can help ensure your plan is staff, student, and community informed, provides policies and procedures before, during, and after an incident, and gives your school a sense of safety and security in preparation for an incident. For more information on the school safety and security standards, please see the Nebraska Department of Education website. Thank you for watching this video.